Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you are doing well. Blake Albertson here, B&B Lawn Care. Today, we're going to be talking about cash flow. You know, you hear this a lot, right? Some of the internet gurus of the world talk about it. And a lot of it doesn't pertain to lawn care. You know, I'm probably not the first person you've heard say this, but lawn care is not the most profitable company or industry or business to be in. It's just not, like, plain and simple. It's just not. If you look at other industries such as plumbing, electricians, their hourly rates are higher. Even in our industry, landscaping, hardscaping, you hear that a lot. Maybe landscape lighting, fertilizing, things like that. They are a higher hourly rate, right? So you might ask somebody like me or people that have been in this business longer than me. I think I'm going on like 12 or 13 years now. Why am I still in lawn care? And why do I not want to change my business? Why do I not want to go into other service offerings? And the real reason is cash flow. What do I mean? That means my income, for the most, is unpredictable as it is. It's predictable. I know next week, will 1 yard, 2 yards maybe change? Will we maybe lose one client? Maybe. But we'll add 2 or 3. Like the old rule of thumb, I had a buddy of mine, actually Kyle Deere. If you're listening to this, he's a local landscape guy of mine. Years ago, like way years ago, right? I lost a client and I was like bummed about it, right? And he goes, "No, you'll gain 2 or 3 back." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like just the world. It's just how it works. You lose one, you're bummed about it, you'll gain 2 or 3. And it's proven to be a thing in my business. So the thing about cash flow, what I was saying is it is predictable. Next week, we pretty much know what we're going to make. We pretty much know what we're going to bring in because the work is so consistent, right? Especially springtime. Like, we are not chasing another job. Like, that's what always scared me about being a dedicated landscaping company is you always are booking for the next week, the next job. It's not reoccurring. It's not that predictable. And for me, and maybe I'm freaking totally bonkers crazy, but for me, it seems like a landscaping company is harder to scale than a mowing company. And listen, there's so many different problems in each of those businesses, like training people. Maybe landscaping is probably maybe easier to train people. It's more repeatable, as silly as that sounds. Like, the thing about mowing is you just trim a yard, you can trim one, you've trimmed them all, but that's just not the case. There's so many scenarios you have to be careful of. There's a lot of liability in mowing. But the reason I like it is it's reliable, it's steady, you can train people. And for me, it was like, it's easier for me to get more out of the field because the income's repeatable and we know what's going to become. Like, I know having employees, I know that I'll be able to pay them next week because we're going back to those customers' properties and making that money again. I hope that makes sense. None of this is turnkey. Like, you hear the people on Instagram or social media, like I don't even know. I like not name dropping anybody. I don't know, like Grant Cardone or any of those like real estate guru guys. And I like Grant Cardone. I listen to his stuff a lot, but they're in a totally different category. Like, they're not talking about a small landscaping or lawn care business. They're talking about like invest and go into debt $100 million and the apartments or the real estate will pay you monthly cash flow. I love that. And I've always talked to you guys that that's my dream. I think that should be the dream. But if you're running a business, it's kind of the same thing. Like, in a way, it's kind of the same discussion. It just has to be more tailored to this industry. So what exactly do I mean? So you have to have certain systems in place. This isn't even where I wanted this podcast to go, by the way. You know, my mind's kind of crazy. What I wanted to really talk about was getting started in the springtime, those cash flow issues. And even me, I have been having those issues. And it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just something I cannot explain. It's happened every single spring in my business. It is incredibly expensive about until June. Like, literally until June is when it's like I start to see some money coming and staying in the business. I apologize. We have a dog in the studio today. We're working on her, man. She's like 4. Hazley, my golden doodle. She doesn't listen. She still doesn't listen. We spent thousands of dollars training her. She runs us. She runs the house. It's insane. I could blow the train horn at her, maybe, but let me know if you guys have this problem in the springtime. We've had really good income coming in with our new software check. We have money being deposited into our bank account every single day. That right there, this is not a product plug. I only talk about companies and products that I literally use. This is a product that is being used not 24/7 in our business, but it actually could be by customers. For 10, 11, 12 hours out of the day, it's being used by us. And then the customers are using it all the time. Like, literally, I'll wake up with 3-4 payments from customers all throughout the day. Boom, check. Here's $75. Boom, check. Here's $75, $60, $50, whatever it is. It's crazy. And I've talked about it a ton, but I don't think when people hear like a product plug, it's like it's been so downed upon over the last couple of years. Just, listen, sometimes it's just too much, right? But this is a product I actually believe in. I'm not even being paid. The only way I get paid from most of this stuff is if you guys purchase the product or the service using a discount code, you get a discount and I get a small kickback from it. So it's not like we're out here making ridiculous money. It's like if I bring people to them, I get a little tiny kickback, a thank you. I appreciate it. Like, it means more that people are using it and they're going to change their business and their life. It's the closest app to create cash flow in the lawn care business seamlessly, which means I actually have thought for years. I've tried to hire somebody to do invoicing. I tried to have Natalie do it. I've tried to have my mom do it. I've tried to do it. And it just, none of these things worked. We are not living. It's not a 1995 business anymore. You don't write invoices. You don't go to the bank. I haven't been to the bank in a long, like, literally, I used to go pretty much daily, every other day years ago. I never go to the bank. Maybe once every other month. Never. Everything is digital. Even like if I get a check, I do a mobile deposit and that's it. So listen, if you're new to B&B, you're new to me, I think I have one of those what are you, not a disease, but like maybe a disease, whatever the problem is, that you can't stay focused on one thing. I just get so excited to talk about this stuff because it's like changing my business. And I know that there's been moments in my life where I'm like, how the flip do people do it? So when I'm having something that's freaking working and like it's every single day, I'm like, Natalie, this is wild. Like, I cannot believe that this just automatically is doing all this stuff. This is replacing somebody's job. I never had a secretary or a bookkeeper or something like that. It replaced their job for $100 a month. Like think about how much that employee would really cost. Thousands of dollars a month to do your bookkeeping. You invest $100 a month on a software like this, and it does everything seamlessly. We haven't had not one issue. When I was doing invoicing manually, I'll admit it. I messed up a couple times. I would have a customer text me, hey, we got invoiced this, but we, like a problem with the invoice. It invoiced too much. They didn't cut that day. There's no more questioning. There is zero questioning. Nobody can question anything because everything is instant and automatic. Sorry, again, I need to get one of those, like a pellet gun. Not a pellet, I don't want like an activist group against me. Not like a mean pellet gun, like a stop barking pellet gun. Hazley, come here. This is real life. Like we're not like professionals here. I'm just, I don't know who's back there. Oh, I think I do know. We hired somebody to pick up the dog poop in the backyard because we didn't ever do it. And nobody could go in our backyard because it was just like landmines everywhere. So for $40 a month, somebody comes and cleans up the dog poop. It's the best $40 you'll literally ever spend. So I think that's who she's barking at. But what the heck was I talking about? See, that's the ADHD or something. Yeah, I did have problems with the invoice, and we don't have that anymore. Everything's automatic. It's instant. The second we're done off the property, the customer has an invoice in their inbox. There's just no questions anymore. There's no lag time that goes into cash flow. Is like, here's the example. I'm going to cut all this down to 2 minutes. Ready? Traditionally, you cut a yard April 1st. Okay. You cut that yard 4 or 5 times in April, whatever it is. 5 weeks out of the month or 4 weeks. One of these months is weird. I think it might be May, actually. It just depends on the schedule, whatever. You cut it 4 or 5 times that month. Okay. $50 a cut. You send an invoice traditionally at the end of the month, May 1st. Okay. Then you're back out cutting May 1st. And there's a 30-day net on that. That means they have 30 days to pay the invoice. Some people listen, some people don't, whatever. But you're going to get some people that you might get a check back the next week, like May 7th, 8th. Okay? Maybe they'll keep that invoice and they pay. This happened all the time. Those people paid things like the 15th of the month or later in the month. So from that one cut that you did April 1st, you could be 30 to 60 days out from your payment. In the meantime, you have had to pay a load of things. First off, times that by how many clients you have. In our instance, times that by 100. So take, 8 cuts times 100 clients times whatever you're charging, $50. What's that math? Let's just take, and bear with me, this isn't perfect math, But do 8 weeks of cutting times 100 people. That's 800 yards cut. If you had is that right? Yeah. Times 50, let's say your average property is $50. That's $40,000 that you had to front. And you've had to pay your employees, your trucks, your insurance, gas, oil, equipment maintenance, your mortgage, your bills, lights, water, gas in your vehicles, food for the table, for the family, other family expenses, other business expenses, payroll, a million things. You are not a bank. You are a lawn care company. So when I get a comment and people are like, I think you should invoice at the end of the month because that's what everybody's always done. Okay. In every lawn care, and I'm not speaking to everybody, but I'm saying traditionally the lawn care solo guy isn't really making a lot of money. Let's just say it how it is. Because everybody's so stuck in these traditional ways. Listen, every business right now is going to a subscription-based service. I actually think it's a killer idea for lawn care. A lot of people do the 12-month contract, which the 2023 version would just be a monthly subscription to your lawn care service. Okay? I think it's a killer idea. Let's say you charge... I wasn't going to do that math, I promise. Let's say you charge $50 times 4, and you would just do a monthly price at the beginning of the month. Prepaid, you're never getting screwed out of money. I think it's killer. My business isn't there yet. It's you can't do too much at once. It freaks people out. So I don't need to do that. I really don't. Check is basically a subscription based because there's no more work for me to do end of the month billing than there is to do weekly billing. And I haven't had any problems with the weekly billing either. So I would say implement changes slowly. Once a year. There's not a lot of change week to week, but once a year in the springtime, we do something different. This year was a totally new software. Scary. It really freaked me out. But 1 week went by and payments were just coming in. I was like, whoa. And I'm like, dude, everything is up to date today. Next week, I am leaving, and I'll actually make a podcast. My next podcast is going to be talking all about balance, work-life balance, the whole thing. This topic is so strung out, but I wanted to put my input in there. When I leave next week for, 11 days or something, out of the country, gone. Unless there's freak accidents, something crazy, trailer, truck problem, when I come back, it will be like I never was gone. Okay? I'm not going to come back to 2 weeks of invoices to do, not knowing what went on with my business. Every day when I'm gone, I will look probably once or twice at the app, talk to Tyler, see what's going on, making sure everything's good. But that's it. All the invoices will be sent out. There will be, from the customer's viewpoint, nothing. Unless they follow me on Facebook and see me at the beach, they won't know nothing. And that is how a business should be. Okay? In my opinion. You go to the grocery store, you go to Target. If the general manager is gone, you shouldn't know if he's gone or there. You know, he could be on a vacation. Now, when my mailman, he went to like Europe for 3 months. I guess the mailman's making bank. I don't know what it was. And everybody knew because we would go days without mail. Our mailman, spot on, 11:30 every single day. He's at your mailbox. Same exact time every day. When he was gone, they didn't know what to do. They literally couldn't get mail to our house. It was insane. So I took that as a business owner. I'm like, okay, how do we make sure that doesn't happen? How does that make sure that if I'm not there that day, it's like I'm there or not there. It doesn't even matter, you know? And from an invoicing standpoint, people get used to the way things are done. Okay. When the very first week I had like 2 people, they were like, I got a message, an email from this app called Check and said it was an automated invoice. Is this you? I'm like, yep, that's our new software. Just did a little explanation about why. And they're like, dude, that is flippin' cool. Literally, I had customers saying, wow, that is cool. People almost trust that more than like a human-made invoice for $250 at the end of the month. They're like, wait, April 1st? I don't even remember April 1st. Were you there? Did it rain that day? I'm sorry if I got off the rails a little bit with cash flow, but this all it all plays a part. It's like when you leave for a week and a half or whatever it is, are you still making money? It'll be like I'm there. It will literally be like I'm here sending invoices, except I don't have to send invoices anymore. I can actually make a podcast. I literally can actually make a podcast today because I don't have a mountain of paperwork like I did. Like, oh, what did we mow Susie's on April 1st? Did it rain that week? And then it's just like, nope, none of that. Let's go back to the start of this season, okay? The start of the springtime was expensive this year. We had some trailer work, but it was like $1,500. We bought new trailer truck tires, $1,000, $1,500, like payroll. I don't know what it is. I really honestly don't. You have tax season. That might be it. Like taxes are always weird because taxes are due at the end of the first quarter. So your first quarter estimates are due and your taxes for the previous year. I think that might play a little role in it. But we have 3 trimmers in the shop right now. You know, that's going to cost a few $100 at least, $500. But even then, like, I don't know what it is. We're not really spending a ton. I don't feel like not anything out of the ordinary in our personal life. This basement was an absolute fortune. Like it was just, I wasn't expecting about how much this stuff actually costs. But that's enough. What I want to tell you is don't let people, oh, you got to get into landscaping, Blake. That'll be the day, Blake. And I'm sitting over here like, dude, I'm trying to every single day 1% better in my lawn care business. 1% better. When I implemented Check, it took me probably 3 weeks, not like dedicated 3 weeks. It was like input some clients today, input some clients tomorrow. It took me about 3 weeks. But that 3 weeks of work saved me countless hours every single month for the rest of my business's life, right? That was probably 30% better in my business. But every single day, just focus on one thing, one stupid bottleneck that you have. And that 1%, what if that 1% changed into 1 or 2, 3% more profit? Over time that happens. And that's where it really pays off. So the number one takeaway should be rethinking your pricing schedule or your payment schedule, your invoicing schedule. If you're doing into the months, not only is cash flow going to be such a problem for you, you're going to get people not paying you. You're going to run into that more often because they string up a bill for $200, $300, $400 at the end of the month, and they're like, I don't want to pay. You lost all your control. You can go through, get all this other crap, but I don't want that. I just want to be paid. I want to do the work, and that's it. Have a great life, right? So that's what we got going on. Rethink that. I think that's something a little, but it's big. It's scary to totally change. And when you got, 100 people and you try to implement the change, the more customers you have, the likelier it is for somebody to be like push back. Like, whoa. I had a person today. I decided we don't do one-off. Like, if they're been my customer for a long time and they started mowing their own yard, we mow all their neighbors' yards. They're like, hey, can you cut our yard this week? I'm like, sure. But just some random lady called me today. She's like, I'm like, you want weekly lawn mowers? She's like, no, maybe in the future, but just one mow this time. And I'm like, we just don't do that. Like, we just don't do that. It's, do I want the money? Yes. But that's my rule. Like, it's my business. I don't do that anymore. Okay? It's just a pain in the butt. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Like, the likelihood it's not in our area. It doesn't move the needle one way or another. I'd rather just focus on weekly customers. And that, to me, goes back into cash flow. Instead of running around doing one-off jobs all the time, we focus on getting weekly clients that pay us week after week after week after week after week. If I don't make any sense, I'm sorry. But this is something I think about a lot. I think about these things. Like, I don't have real estate, right? Investment real estate. But I also don't have the debt to pay off. So how can my business be like that for me? Okay. How in the world? Well, hiring really good employees, taking care of them, training them, having your route tight, good customers, focus on these things. I mean, really, as dumb as it sounds, it takes a lot of work to condense a route, have good customers, fire the crappy ones, like all these things, right? It all goes back to my one mission of like, have a smooth sailing running business that pays you every single day, no matter what. That's what we trying to do right here. Not saying I'm perfect, not saying I have everything, but flip. We try every single day, and I try to take what I learn to you guys. That's what we got going on. You can click the link in the description down below, BB10, that you can check out Check or anything I talk about, and it goes back into the business and back into the YouTube stuff, buy cameras and all this junk I got up here. We appreciate it. That's all we got today. Hope you guys are out there crushing it. Hope you got something out of it. Every single day I think of these topics and I'm like, if I could just say one of my crazy little sporadic moments that help people, that's all that matters. Have a great one.
Thank you for listening to the B&B Lawn Care Podcast. We hope you got some golden nuggets that you can implement into your lawn and landscaping business. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure and leave us a 5-star review. Connect with us on all social media platforms by searching at BB Lawn Care KC. Keep grinding, keep striping, and stay positive out there, friends.